be teaching you how to wheelie. He's going to teach fast wheelies, I'm going to teach slow wheelies. Let's go. So, for a wheelie, I would recommend you have a hardtail, and if you have a full suspension, you probably should lock out your rear suspension. For seat height, we recommend you find a good seat height, where when you have your pedals as low as they possibly go, your leg isn't locked out, but it's not like bent a lot.
There's a common thing that people say is for wheelies you want your seat as low as possible. That's not always the case, and we would recommend just having a comfortable seat height where you can comfortably stand like this, but it's not too low. Like that. So in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to be in the gears 2 and 2 on both sides. And if you only have one gear set on the right side, you want to be in gear 1 or gear 2. Either one. So what you want to do is for a fast wheelie, you want to have a lot of speed, but in a slow wheelie, you want to be slow. I'd recommend starting off with learning how to do a slow wheelie, where you're barely moving at all, and you want to take the pedal and yank up at the same time, as hard as you can, like that. Now don't be afraid of falling back. When you fall back, both of your legs kind of just hit the ground, similar to how I showed earlier. So that's how you fall.
So for a slow wheelie, you're going to want to have like good pop, and you're probably going to want to practice looping out like that. Eventually you're going to modulate so you don't loop out, but when you're learning, you probably just want to try to loop out a lot. So like, I would advise that you do that until you can get comfortable with looping. So right here we have my brother who has been learning how to wheelie. He's going to show you what level of proficiency you probably should be at before you start going on to other steps. So now let's just try another one, okay? So if you can do this about 7 out of 10 times, you're probably ready to start moving on to the next step. It could take a while, it may not. We don't know.
Once you know how to loop out, it's time to actually start trying to hold the wheelie. And in order to do that, you want to just not take as hard as when you're looping out, but instead of that, you take a little bit and you just keep on pedaling. A common mistake is people stopping when people stop pedaling, and this causes the bike to just fall. You don't want to do that. You want to keep on pedaling as hard as possible. This is what it can look like.
So, that wasn't that long a wheel. The way you can change that is, you want to be able to cover your back brake so you can pull it. What you want to do is, you're going to want to get past your balance point, so pretty high up, and then pull the brake and bring it down. Then you don't want to stop pedaling now, because if you do, the wheelie's just going to go like that. And you don't want that. You want a long wheelie that looks cool. So, what you're going to do is, you're going to pedal nice and evenly, and when you feel yourself going over the back, and then this way, eventually if you want to do a slow wheelie, you're going to have to pull the brake a lot to keep it from getting too fast, but eventually it should become second nature. Should give you wheelies like this. So, although I didn't go that far, you'll notice that I managed to keep my speed controlled and slow. I didn't loop out, but I didn't go down until I needed to. So, yeah, that's the slow wheelie. We're going to demonstrate the fast wheelie now, the more uncommon wheelie. Still, you might see it often.
In the fast wheelie, you generally want to start a little bit faster, and this makes sure that you keep your balance. As you can see, I wasn't modulating as much, however, I was relying more on my balance. And this is because since I was going faster, it was much easier to balance. I prefer this method of wheelings because it makes me go faster it gives me longer wheelies.
So there's also the slow wheelie. For that, I like it because I like that sense of being in control of my speed. And although it is slower and harder to cover ground, when you get going, you can hold it for a really long time. It's also good because it's just good for practicing modulation. For say you wanted to learn to manual. Well, when you manual, you don't want to loop out, right? But you also don't want to bring it down by braking too much, so it's just good practice.
Yeah,
that's why I like the slow wheelie.
Both methods work well, and they both give you good long wheelies. And we encourage you to try either method, but one might work better for you.
So just try both to find out which is better.